Alright, welcome to the channel, guys. This is Guns and More. I hope you guys are having a great day, and today we're gonna be working on this Rock Island Armory 1911. It's from a co-worker of mine, and after he installed a few upgrades such as hammer, beaver tail, and trigger, it was working fine, but then he went to install a thumb safety and it started having issues with the gun locking up. So today we're gonna be taking it apart, checking out what's the issue, which I kind of figured the issue is that the thumb safety needs some grinding to fit, and we're gonna be looking at what we got in here, and stick around. Alright, so here we got the sliders removed. We will also be cleaning up the weapon a little bit, oiling it and making sure everything is properly set in. As you can see, when I try to move the thumb safety up and down, this is the stock safety, and it wouldn't even go up or down that much. It will barely move. So it's kind of curious, as this is actually the original thumb safety. I do have the aftermarket one that we're installing right now, but I'm gonna open it up, taking everything apart, and make sure to check what is the thumb safety binding on. So what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be removing the grips. I will be removing the thumb safety and beaver tail, the mainspring, and I will be reinstalling the mainspring and without the beaver tail, and fit the thumb safety just to see where it's actually binding at. That way, from that point on, I'll just look to see what I need to grind and try to make it work. I'm not gonna be grinding on this one. I am gonna be grinding on the new one that we're installing. So stick around. Now, I'm not a gunsmith by any means. I just enjoy working on guns. I do have a few guns of my own, and I just love spending time working on guns. So that's why I actually told him if he wants to bring it to me, and I'll take a look at it and see if I could get a fix for him. Alright, so here we got the mainspring area removed. Now we're about to remove the thumb safety and the beaver tail, and then see what we can find. As you can see, I'm having issues trying to remove this thumb safety, so that actually is a little bit concerning, as I would like to know what's inside of it. And upon a closer inspection, after removing the thumb safety, I seen that the gun actually has a new Seer Kit, which is thicker than the original one. So that new Seer Kit is actually causing issues with the original thumb safety, and you will have to modify the original thumb safety to work with the new Seer Kit. So we're not going to be doing that, as we're going to be changing out the thumb safety itself, but at least from first glance I could already see that the problem is within that Seer Kit. So we're gonna be taking care of it. everything from the gun just to make sure that all the parts are right and that there was no grinding or no filing any parts that it wouldn't need to be filed. So just making sure that everything is okay, and then we're gonna start reassembly and the modification of the new thumb safety. Alright, so here I'm trying to pull the bag out that has the new thumb safety that he's trying to install, and we'll see what needs to be modified in it to make it fit, to make it work. Alright, so here's the new thumb safety. As you can see, he might have filed a little bit. Well, sorry, you can't see because the camera, I moved the part out of the way. But he did file a little bit on the thumb safety, which he did file in the right spot, but he needed a little bit more. So I'm going to be using a small Dremel to take care of it. And I'm sorry for the camera not being exactly on the parts. I thought it was under the camera. Alright, so here we're going to be reinstalling the seal spring and the mainspring, and then we're going to be checking out to see where the binding is, and we're going to start grinding. Forgot to put the strut in, so we're gonna have to remove the mainspring again to put the strut in place, and then we can check it. Alright, so now that the strut is in place with the mainspring, now we're going to be installing the new thumb safety, and we're going to be looking out to see where it's binding in the Seer Kit. As you can see, the thumb safety is binding on this area right here, which is on the top portion. So I'm going to be grinding out a little bit. It doesn't really need that much grinding, so I only ground out because he had already started filing the area, so we're just gonna grind a little bit and make sure it sits properly, so that way you could engage the thumb safety. Now that takes care of the engagement, but then for the disengagement, we're gonna have to grind a different spot. as I said, we're gonna be grinding it. We're gonna be grinding in this area. We're not gonna grind much. We're just gonna grind a little bit, make it flat and even, and then we're gonna try it out and possibly grind it a little bit more, and it should be all set. Now this thumb safety was actually engaging, but it was engaging tight. So that means that we just need to grind a little bit so it could clear out and engage properly. Now the main issue with this thumb safety is the disengagement, as it wouldn't disengage the whole way. So as I kept inspecting, I noticed that the disengagement issue was that the thumb safety was binding up against the frame. So for that, I had to change the stone on the Dremel and put a really thin disc in it, and then grind on the inside part of the thumb safety, as you're gonna see in a few seconds. We're gonna finish out with this section first, and then we're gonna move on to the other section, and we're gonna start grinding in the inside area. And that actually took quite a while to grind, and I thought I was grinding a lot. I thought I was grinding a little bit too much, but then I compared it to the original one, and after comparison I noticed that the original one, it was really thin inside. So yeah, a lot of material had to be taken out of the shoulder. But after grinding it for a few minutes and test fitting and grinding, we managed to get it to work, and I was happy with it. Here, as you can see, engagement is working properly. Disengagement works, but it's just not reaching the bottom where the little spring area clicks into. So engagement is working properly, that's all set. So now we're gonna be taking care of the disengagement, which is gonna be in a different area from the thumb safety. And once that's done, the gun should be good to go. This process does take a long time. It normally doesn't take a long time, as I did my other 1911. Mine is a T-Says 1911, and when I installed the thumb safety, the only thing that I had to make clearance for was for the Seer Kit. Now on this one, it's a Rock Island armory, so I'm not sure how much difference there is in the frames, but on this frame, this thumb safety actually I had to grind a lot. Like for the engagement, I didn't have to grind a lot, but not for the disengagement, I am gonna have to grind a lot, and you'll see in a few seconds. Alright, so closer inspection, I found out that this is the area that's actually binding on the disengagement of the thumb safety, which this area is binding up on the frame of the gun. So I'm gonna be changing out the grinding stone, and then we're gonna be taking care of this. Alright, so I have changed out the grinding stone, and as you can see, it's just really thin one. So now we're just gonna be grinding in here and making clearance so this area could clear the frame of the gun. This one is actually really tedious, and I'm gonna be fast forwarding. I'm gonna put it in fast forward because this one actually takes a long time, and it was a lot of grinding and testing, so I'm gonna fast forward until near the end. Alright, so after grinding for a while, the thumb safety is almost there. It's not quite there yet, but now I'm gonna compare it to the original one, and you will be seeing the big difference from the original one to this one. So alright, so after a lot of grinding, it was almost like 20 minutes of grinding and testing, grinding and fitting. This is finally the last grind, and now the thumb safety engages and disengages properly and is ready to go, and the gun is ready to be cleaned out and reassembled. Now we're just gonna be cleaning out the thumb safety with a wire brush to remove any markings, and this is done. This is a done deal. Now we're just gonna be wrapping it up, cleaning out the guns, and we're gonna be taking it out to the range and get it tested. I don't know what it is about guns, I just like them, and I've been into them for a really long time, and I recently started buying them just because I didn't have that permit. I live in Connecticut, so now I got my permit, and I've been buying a few. Right now I have around 5 of my own, and I do plan on purchasing a lot more. So that's why I decided to open up a YouTube channel and start posting videos. Now we do got plans of hopefully some in the near future moving out to back to Arizona. So if the channel is doing good by then we're gonna have a lot more better content, because we could have more outdoor fun with the guns and be able to get some better videos. But for now, we're gonna be doing like a lot of reviews, maintenance of the guns, and range time on the guns. Also, I would appreciate if you guys have a like and subscribe to the channel. That will help a lot. And you know, if you are two-way supporter, that will help a lot even more. Currently, I do have a TSS 1911 of my own, which I've already put over a little over 250 rounds, which I did put a video cleaning it yesterday or the day before yesterday. And yeah, that gun I bought it. It was the service model, which is the bare. It has the bare minimum kind of aesthetic to it. And I installed a new beaver tail, new thumb safety, new hammer, new slide lock, and the new front bushing, and the new mainspring, all in stainless steel except the trigger, which is aluminum. And I gotta say, I love that gun. I have had no issues with it. It shoots really smooth. It feels really comfortable in the hand. I did put some mahogany wood grain grips, and that made it feel a whole lot different, way more comfortable than the stock ones. So, and I do recommend that gun. Like I'm trying to get to the 500 round mark, so I could do a full video review of the TCS 1911, which is not gonna be taking long. So that should be coming up pretty soon. So the lower receiver is fully assembled, and as you can see, the thumb safety, beaver tail, and everything works properly. Everything's smooth, and this gun is ready to be assembled, man. I just can't wait to test it out on the range. Here's the gun, fully assembled, cleaned out, oiled out, ready to go. And we're gonna be heading to the range tomorrow to test it. So we're gonna have that clip right at the end of the video. here we are at the range. As you can see, we have the gun out, and I've already checked the thumb safety. I've already checked the beaver tail. Everything seems to be working properly. It has no binding issue. I put a mag in it. I tapped it a few times, and I've tested a few scenarios to make sure that the safety is not disengaging or causing anything, locking up or anything. All that is working properly. So now we're gonna get a few shots on the range and see if it doesn't get no jams or anything. The gun shot beautifully. I went through 2 of the original magazines with it, and then I went through 2 of my magazines with it. So I ran a total of 32 shots, 32 rounds through it, and I had no jamming issues in the gun, none whatsoever. Everything worked flawlessly. So I'm happy to bring this gun back to my coworker, and I'm done. The job here is done. Now I appreciate you guys following, and I appreciate you guys watching this whole video and taking your time, and I really hope you guys like and subscribe to the channel. We will have more content for you guys, and we will have, as you can see, we have other guns here. So we're gonna be doing some disassembly and reassembly videos, cleaning videos, maintenance, upgrades, you name it. So please like, subscribe, and share the channel. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day.